Hey guys. Why did I do that? I don't know. Hey guys, welcome back to Unhinged but Healthy. I'm melting here today. Literally melting. I washed my hair today, look. What is that? What is that? But yeah. Anyways, gonna start this the way I always do. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if it's nice. And if you are listening to my podcast, please follow it or leave a rating. And you can also follow my socials, which I will put in the box below if you care about anything I do. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's make this short and snappy. Today, how to stop deeping everything. So this is something I have been trying to practice for the last, seems like forever. I am a water sign, I'm a Cancer, probably the most emotional water sign that there is. And yeah, I literally just turned 24 last Friday. Friday before that, if you're watching this or listening to this, probably 4th of July, that was when I turned 24. But yes, you didn't ask for a history lesson, so yeah. So yeah, I'm very emotional. I literally feel everything so deeply. I don't know why I'm sat up here today. I was just sat really close to the camera. I think it's a bit too close to me. I think that might be the issue. That was the issue. So back to it. Yeah, so I'm very emotional. I feel things very deeply. I take things very personally, or I did take things very personally. Just, yeah, you know, just kind of like going through the trenches when it came to people. And I feel like as you get older, you kind of become desensitized anyway, but that's not really something that I deem a good thing, you know? Like, it's not always a good thing becoming desensitized. Like, literally, who wants that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I would rather feel things than not feel anything at all, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather feel way too much than not feel anything, because then what have you really experienced? You know what I mean? And it's tough, and I feel like when you're a nice person, people take advantage of that. And like, when you deep things so much, as I have done in the past, life just stops being fun. Like, everything just kind of becomes like, how do I explain this? Like, everything just kind of becomes like, oh god, like this person is going to do the same to me that everyone else has done. And like, it kind of just becomes like a ball of anxiety of like, how is this person going to leave my life? What's this person going to do to me? Like, you know, and it just makes things not as enjoyable as they could be. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I stop deeping everything. So yeah, my ramble about being a water sign is now over. So the first point I have down here, realizing that once you become secure in yourself, nothing else will matter. And this is so true. Like, and I'm far from being secure in myself yet when it comes to certain connections, like romantic connections more than anything. Like, I know I'm good at my job. I know I'm valuable there. I know that, like, I know with my friends, like, I'm always going to hear from them. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, when my friends used to like not speak to me for a day or something because they've been busy, I used to think like I'd said something or I'd done something, or they just didn't like me and stuff like that. And like, I'm confident now that like that's not the case. My issue lies in the romantic spectrum. That is where my issue lies here, and this is where I deep things mainly. So I'm far from secure in that area of my life. However, I'm working on it, you know, I am working on it. And that's all you can do. And like the main thing with this, what I say to myself, if things are going wrong with someone, this can be applied to any situation. Will I die? Literally, will I die? I ask myself this question. Will I die? Will it matter in 5 years? Will it matter in 6 months? If it's something small, will it matter in a month? Will it matter this time next week? Do you know what I mean? Like small minor things, like when I've made mistakes, or like when someone's hurt me. Like when someone's hurt me, it's more like, will this matter in 6 months? Will this matter in 5 years? You know, when I've done something, because I don't tend to like do silly things. But when I do, it's usually just a tiny little thing. Like I'm not the type of person who would ever do anything to hurt someone. So it's more like, you know, I'll be drunk and I'll like a story, or like I'll say something that I shouldn't have said, or like I'll start typing to someone. And again, this isn't often, like I've done it before when I've been hung up on situations, do you know what I mean? And I'll just say to myself, like, will this matter in a week? No. So it's literally fine. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't need to sit there and ruminate about like what this person, I'm sorry, I'm really not vibing with my hair. Yeah, like what is this person thinking about this? Like, oh my god, like I typed to them, like I liked their story, I said this to them, like what are they thinking about that today? What does it matter? Like literally, what does it matter? Like just laugh it off. As long as you haven't hurt anyone, it's literally fine. Like that's my main point. Like as long as you're not hurting anyone, do you know what I mean? Like that's the main point of it all. Will you die? Going back to that point, you know, someone's really hurt you, be it a friend, or maybe you've lost your job and, you know, you're really stressed, or, you know, maybe the boy that you're speaking to has, like, done a 180 on you all of a sudden, like, yeah, you know, are you going to die? The answer is no, everything's going to be okay, you know? Other people's experiences are controlled by their perception, not yours. Nothing is as personal as it feels. And this is so true. And this is something that has only come to light for me like a few weeks or months ago. And it's such a nice realization to have. Like, I remember when I got ghosted, like, we all remember that. I literally uploaded a video of myself crying on the internet and it's on there forever, so slay. Go back and watch that if you want to, you know, giggle at it. I do now. It's never that serious. When it comes to a boy, it is never that serious, I promise you. But you know, like I was looking at that through the lens of me. Like I was looking at it like, what have I done? Like, oh my god, he must think I'm so awful. And like, you know, just like looking at it from my perspective, when in actual fact I have no idea what was going on in his head. Like I have no idea what experiences in his childhood have like shaped who he is and how he perceives things, and like what kind of attachment style he has. Like the whole time I was looking at it through my lens, my experiences, my attachment style, and I was never going to get an answer because, sorry, my TV just flashed off. And I was never ever going to get an answer because I am not him. Do you know what I mean? And the same goes for every other situation, like friends, exes, like managers, like people in work, like just people who don't like me. Like I'm never ever going to understand why, and there's also no point racking my brain trying to find out why, because I'm never going to find out, because again, their life is shaped by their experiences and their attachment style and their level of emotional maturity and everything like that, you know. And once you kind of realize that, you sort of just think, well, if there's no way that I can find out, then what's the point of me even trying to figure it out anyway? I'm just wasting my time and my mental energy, you know? And like, for me, that's just not something that I want to do. And I'm sure it's not something that you want to do either. But yeah, nothing is as personal as it feels. Like, people probably aren't even thinking about you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way, like, oh, they're not even thinking, like, they've hurt you and they're not even thinking about you. They're not thinking about you in the way that you are thinking about you, you know? Like, they have done this, they've made this decision based on their life. It probably was nothing to do with you. Like, unless you've been awful to someone, it's probably nothing to do with you. So yeah, don't take things so personally. Understand your attachment style. So this is a big one, I think. So I don't know if I am anymore. I kind of am. Kind of am. Yeah, so I was always anxiously attached. So I had an anxious attachment style. Probably, do you know what, maybe even a little bit disorganized, if I'm being honest. Look them up, read the book Attached. That's a really good book. Kind of gives you like a play by play, kind of breaks it all down for you. But yeah, so if you understand your attachment style, you can kind of understand why you think the way you think, and kind of like what situations have, like, in your childhood have kind of shaped you to behave the way that you do now, and like why you react in certain ways to certain situations, especially like emotional situations. So like when someone tries to talk to you about emotions, like, do you just kind of like run off and hide away and like never speak to them again, or like if you try and speak about your emotions and somebody does that, do you then chase after them? Do you have like this yearning for them? Like, do you have a little bit of both? Like, are you just like, oh cool, like whatever, like somebody who can't speak about their emotions isn't the person for me, you know? Like, yeah, so figuring out which one you are really helps, because then you can kind of figure out how. I feel like when you deep everything, I feel like if you're avoidant, you don't really deep anything, because what matters, like, you know, if you're secure, which is the dream, like, that's kind of like, you know, you're just so secure in yourself and who you are as a person, like it doesn't really matter what other people think or do, it doesn't really shape you. But if you're anxious like me, you deep everything, you think everything, you pull everything you said apart, you pull every situation apart, like you really want closure, like it could be any situation, you know. So yeah, I feel like understanding your attachment style really helps, because then you can kind of take the steps towards becoming secure, and eventually once you counteract those thoughts enough times, you will then become secure, you know. If you're anxious, it will take time. You will still feel anxious sometimes when you're triggered, and that doesn't mean you aren't making progress. And this is so true. So I feel like I've come to like quite a good point with not really caring what people think. Like sometimes I will, like if I'm having like a bad like body image day, or like if I've said something or done something and I'm a bit like, you know, like what are people going to say to that? Like, you know, sometimes like I would literally just be myself and I get a little bit anxious because I'm just like, oh my god, like do people think I'm too much? Like do people think I'm weird? Like it doesn't really matter, you know. But yeah, like, and some days I do have days like that, and I do have to battle with the thoughts in my head a little bit more, and that's fine, because I'm sure that everyone gets those days, you know. But yeah, so what could an example of this be? Say like I'm not a person where I will like initiate things. So I don't really ask people to do things very often. I will wait to be asked to do something unless you're like my best of friends, you know? And even then sometimes I won't, or I'll be too scared to ask to do something because I'm scared that they'll be like, oh no, I'm doing something with my other friend, or like, you know, and that's just silly. So like sometimes I ask my friends to do something, and then when, you know, I'll just panic and I'll be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like they're gonna say no, and then like that means that like they don't want to spend time with me, and like, you know, or like I'll be speaking to someone new and I'll say something, and like maybe they won't understand what I've said, or they won't understand my humor, or like I'll have said something that like would have pissed my ex off, and then I'll be like in my head, like this happened to me the other day, like I said something that would have really pissed my ex off, and again, you have to remind yourself not everyone is your ex, and it's not even a fact of like not being over that person, it's literally just trauma, do you know what I mean? Like you get scared that everyone's going to react that way, but yeah. So I said something and then didn't get a reply for like ages, and I was like, oh my god, like, oh, like my head was just trying to be like, what have I, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, like, do I go back and delete it now? Like, no, because what if they've half swiped it, and then like, you know, like they've already seen it and like they're choosing not to reply to me, and then I kind of like went through the motions, and I was like, do you know what, like I think it's funny. If they don't think it's funny and they can't take that and it pisses them off, then that's just not the person for me, and that's completely fine. Do you know what I mean? Like there is an abundance of people out there, like it's fine if that isn't your person, like what, literally, like another one comes in 15 minutes, you know, like it's literally fine. So yeah, and sometimes you will feel anxious and you will get triggered and you will be worried that somebody's gonna react to something in the wrong way or take something the wrong way, or like that you've hurt someone's feelings. No one is deeping what you've said that much, like unless they're really like in love with you, and like, and even then at that point they probably know you well enough to know that you wouldn't hurt them intentionally, you know. I feel like it's difficult when you deep everything because you care so much about other people's feelings as well as your own. But yeah, so sometimes when I'm triggered, I literally feel like, oh my god, like I'm literally back at square one, I'm so anxious, like, you know, and it's just like, no, like it's actually fine, like it's gonna take time, it is gonna take time, and every time that you are changing the narrative and like self-soothing, that's what I was looking for, self-regulating your emotions, like every time you do it, it's going to get easier and it's going to happen faster the next time. And unfortunately you have to go through the motions, and you do have to feel that horrible like physical reaction to that thing that you are really blowing up in your head, in order to soothe it and learn how to regulate those emotions. Like I remember before, like the last person I was seeing once, I asked if everything was okay, and like that's when things went like tits up. And we can laugh about that now, that's fine, but like yeah, at the time, like I remember just feeling literally insane, like I literally felt like my body was in turmoil, and I had to ask him that to feel okay, rather than just checking in with myself, you know, and self-soothing myself, like soothing myself, self-soothing myself, yeah, soothing myself, and then like, you know, yeah, it's just something that you kind of have to learn over time, and that's completely fine. And you look back and you think of situations you could have done it in, but you can't go back. You did your best with what you did at the time, is what we tell ourselves, but it's true. Realize the world is completely the same whether something goes your way or not, and this is so true. Like, have you seen those TikToks that are like, oh, like the world when they love you, the world when they don't love you, the world when you have your dream job, the world when you don't have your dream job, and they're just both the exact same picture, you know, like the world is spinning whether things go your way or not, like nothing really changes, you know, and you kind of just have to take the L if it doesn't go your way. Like everything's gonna be okay, like there's still things to do, like there's still life to live, you still have your friends, you know, like you still have your family, like you still have so many exciting times ahead of you. And I feel like we lose sight of this when something doesn't go too well. But yeah, like the world is completely the same, you know, nothing's changing, no one's looking at you and thinking like, oh my god, like what the fuck is wrong with this girl? Like no one is looking at you and thinking that. Like honestly, this helped my anxiety so much. Like I don't go out that much, but when I used to go out, oh my god, the next day, I wouldn't want to go out for a week. I wouldn't want to leave my room for a week because I was so embarrassed about the shapes I was throwing, the things I was saying. Like, you know, I'm sure we've all been there, you know, like things I might have posted. Now if I wake up and I find something funny on my story, as long as it's not like awful, I'm like lol. Like that's actually quite funny. Like nobody watched it probably like properly anyway, you know, like most likely like no one cares about me that much on Snapchat. I don't bloody don't upload Instagram stories, that might be a problem. But yeah, you know, like no one cares that much. Like if I see someone's posted a funny story from them being drunk, I'm like lol, like that's literally so funny. Like, you know, I don't judge, so like why, you know, like why would they, like, and if they do, like be fun, have some fun, girl, literally just have some fun, you know. But yeah, like no one's looking at you, and like it hasn't changed everything is still the same, you know, like, and that's just the point, that's just the perspective you need to have, you know. No one cares about you as much as you think they do. This is a good thing. And this is so true. And sometimes it can hurt, especially when you've been like emotionally invested in someone for a bit of time. Like, and when I used to think that at the beginning of things, like, you know, like when my last relationship, like proper relationship ended, 3 years ago now, like I remember like the thought of him not caring about me cut me up. Oh my god, absolutely cut me up inside. I couldn't even think it. My friends would say it to me, I'd be like, what do you mean? Literally, what do you mean he doesn't care about me? Like, what? And they were like, he wouldn't treat you this way if he cared about you. You know, that famous line that we all love so much. Yeah. And I literally, like, I just couldn't, like, I'd think it and I would literally well up and I'd be like, don't care about me. Like, it's literally fine. But like, and it's not even that, like, it's not even that people don't care about you, it's just they don't care about you in the way that you think they do. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, people care for you, yes, people love you, but it's fine. Like, if the person you're literally stressing about doesn't care about you, just think, great, that's literally great, like now there's space for someone else to care about me, you know. Like that's just creating space for more things to come into my universe. And it's like, say now, like you have sent someone a drunk message, or like you have like someone's story, or like you have requested to follow someone on Instagram, or have I had something on my lip this whole video? Because that would be so embarrassing if I have. Yeah, like say you have done something or said something, or you know, and you're just like completely in your head about it, like I promise you that person is probably going to think about it for a day, and then that's that, you know, that's that done. Like no one is thinking about what you did last night, no one is thinking about the Instagram story that you posted, like no one is thinking about the text you sent them a month ago, probably not anyways, unless that person is like me. I'm a girl like you know. But yeah, like no one cares about you and no one thinks about you as much as you think that they do. Maybe that's the term I mean, like no one thinks about you as much as, is that literally what I said? No one cares as much as you think they do, not no one cares about you. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no one is thinking about you as much as you think that they are. Like they're too busy thinking about everything that they've done the same way that you're thinking about everything that you've done, you know. And it's a good thing, you know. But anyways, you are the most important person in your life. People lose the right to you caring. Should I try that one again? People lose the right to you caring what they think when they fumble you, okay? And this is something I tell myself all the time. Like, say I post an Instagram story and and something's just finished with someone, or like an old friend, I see like an old friend has viewed it, not that I check my story views, but like, you know, them three little bubbles, you know, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I think about that? And I'll sit there for like ages and I'm like, oh my god, I wonder how they watched that, I wonder what they thought when they saw that. Like, in reality they're probably just like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, and then what I say to myself is, people lose the right to you caring what they people lose the right to you caring what they think when they fumble you, or like when they leave your life. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would I care what a boy thinks that literally couldn't be asked to give me the time of day in the end? Do you know what I mean? Why would I care what a girl who literally stabbed me off behind my back thinks? Do you know what I mean? Like, why would I care what those people think? I wouldn't want to be them. I wouldn't want to have their life. I'm not jealous of them. Why would I care what they think? I don't enjoy their perception of things. They're not in my life for a reason. They're not my type of person. Therefore, why would I care what that person thinks? If someone hurt me and didn't care, or didn't show me that they cared, they've lost the right to me caring what they think. You know, like, they had that, you know, I cared. I don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? Even if I have to force myself to not care, I don't care anymore. So therefore it's literally irrelevant, you know? Just tell yourself that. Last point, counteract your negative / delulu thoughts. And you've got to do this. You've literally got to do this. And I know everyone says delulu is the salulu. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is, but I'm talking like manifesting like your dream life, your dream job, your dream person. Yes, okay, maybe at that point delulu is the salulu, manifestation and all of that. However, if it's the boy that fucked you over has viewed your Instagram story and you're sat there like, oh my god, he literally loves me, like, meanwhile he's probably like texting someone else, asking them on a date, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like in that case, delulu is not the salulu, and you just have to tell yourself, this doesn't mean anything, you know. And this has happened to me before, you know, that scenario where like I've seen like a boy that like I was seeing like view my Instagram story. Again, I don't check, it was just the three little bubbles, and I was like, oh my god, is he still interested in me? No, he's literally just tapping through Instagram stories. And even if so, viewing my Instagram story isn't enough for me to be like, hey, I wouldn't do that anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just not enough, you know? And it just doesn't mean anything. I view people's Instagram, but I don't really watch Instagram stories unless I know you or speak to you. But yeah, like, not everyone's like that. People just watch Instagram stories, you know, and people just watch them mindlessly. Doesn't mean anything, you know. And then, you know, if you start spiraling, you just have to counteract those thoughts, and it's really hard. Like I said, like, I had a moment the other day where I said something and I thought, like, I was like, oh my god, I'm literally never going to hear from this person again. If I didn't, would I die? No, I wouldn't, you know. I wouldn't die. Would it matter in 1 week? No, it wouldn't. What else? I have an anxious attachment style, so I'm just freaking out here. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is my body's response to this, because someone else used to react in a bad way when I said something like this. But this isn't that person. So we'll just see how it pans out. Do you know what I mean? People are busy. Not everything's about you. People don't base their life around replying to you. And, you know, I'm quite a quick replier, I can't lie. No shame in it. Not most people. Some people aren't. A lot of people I know aren't. And that triggers me. But that's fine, because it's nothing to do with me. And, you know, it gives me the opportunity to kind of soothe myself and be like, do you know what? This is actually nothing to do with me. And that's great. But yeah, you just kind of have to counteract those thoughts, you know, like, oh my god, like, he thinks I'm so weird, oh my god, he hates me now that I've said that, oh my god, he's gonna be so off with me, like, he's never gonna want to see me again. Like, even if that was the case, who cares? Another one comes in 15 minutes. Again, apply this to any situation: friendships, jobs, family, boyfriends, girlfriends, you know. And yeah, you just have to, you know, instead of giving in to those negative thoughts, just be like, everything will literally be fine if it does go that way. However, this is also my brain just trying to get to the worst case scenario to protect me, but it doesn't need to protect me. I'm fine. Just sit there, just breathe. I'm beautiful. I deserve the best. I haven't done anything wrong. You know, if I can always apologize, I can always make things right. You know what I mean? But yeah, so those are my steps to stop deeping everything. You know, life just isn't that deep. Again, as long as you're not hurting anyone, everything is going to be okay. You know, like, as long as you are putting yourself first and you aren't hurting anyone else in the process. And of course, it's impossible to keep everyone happy all the time, but as long as you're not intentionally hurting anyone, it's all going to be okay, you know? But yes, I hope this helped. It really has helped me. So yeah, thank you for listening. Bye guys, love you.